President Andrzej Duda is ending his second term as president of Poland. It has not been an easy decade, seeing both the coronavirus pandemic and the outbreak of full-scale war in Ukraine. However, today, the Polish people lead better lives than in 2015. This is thanks to President Duda's focus on family policy, internal security, and strengthening the Polish-American alliance. President Andrzej Duda emerged as one of the world's leaders in helping Ukraine fight off the Russian invasion. Today, Duda leaves office with a sense of having fulfilled his duty. These are Andrzej Duda's last moments as president of Poland. In the courtyard of the presidential palace, he solemnly bid farewell to the Polish armed forces, of which he was commander-in-chief for 10 years.
Z wielkim szacunkiem kłaniam się wszystkim żołnierzom, także żołnierzom Wojsk Obrony Terytorialnej, za ich patriotyczną postawę i gotowość dla służby dla Rzeczypospolitej. Dziękuję rodzinom naszych żołnierzy.
It all began in 2015.
Obejmując z woli narodu urząd prezydenta Rzeczypospolitej Polskiej,
This is how Duda's first term in office began.
a dobro ojczyzny oraz pomyślność obywateli
będą dla mnie zawsze najwyższym nakazem.
będą dla mnie zawsze najwyższym nakazem. Tak mi dopomóż Bóg.
And here is how he started his second term. A total of 10 years of service to Poland and the Polish people. It's been a good time, a time of dynamic development for the Polish army, a nearly twofold increase in the number of soldiers, up to 210,000. Efforts to increase defense spending from under 2 to 5% of GDP, an increase in the number of American and other NATO troops stationing in Poland, and a strengthening of the alliance with the United States, regardless of who resides in the White House. It was in 2019, during Andrzej Duda's first term, that Polish citizens were allowed to travel to the USA for up to 90 days without needing a visa. He built a very strong, downright unique relationship with the United States, the strongest relationship with Washington in Polish history, while at the same time keeping an eye on his own region. Andrzej Duda's pride and joy was the Three Seas Initiative, a special cooperation between the countries of Central and Eastern Europe. The president was one of the initiators of this idea.
Mieliśmy polską prezydencję w Unii Europejskiej.
Poland had the presidency in the European Union for 6 months, during which no international events took place in Poland as part of the government's activities. The largest, most important international event that took place at that time was the Three Seas Summit, to which I invited representatives from the countries of this community. The last 10 years have also been a difficult time, with the coronavirus pandemic and the outbreak of full-scale war in Ukraine, which borders Poland to the east. It was President Andrzej Duda who rallied the countries of Eastern Europe to provide military aid to Ukraine. He was in Kyiv a few hours before the Russian invasion. His defense policy is definitely a plus in these difficult situations, like with the war in Ukraine. He was certainly a president who was professionally prepared for his role. He had a good instinct, let's call it a patriotic instinct. It is also good that he was not fully subordinate to the dominant political force. President Andrzej Duda's first legislative initiative was to lower the retirement age. By doing so, he fulfilled a commitment he made to the Polish people during his 2015 election campaign.
Jeżeli chodzi o rozwój Polski, jeżeli chodzi o rozmach tego rozwoju.
When it comes to Poland's economic development, I've had many successes: per-child subsidies for families, lowering the retirement age, the minimum hourly wage, and the introduction of a whole range of legal solutions that protected workers in agreement with the Solidarność labor union. The president was in favor of constitutional amendments, but unfortunately, the pandemic and Russian aggression in Ukraine shifted his administration's priorities. Andrzej Duda was sympathetic to the idea of a constitutional reset. The Confederation Party proposed it. We also presented it to the president, and President Andrzej Duda expressed his support for the initiative, which is extremely important to us. He was also definitely a president who was open to our voice. He was open to talks with heads of state and heads of government. In total, he took part in 247 official foreign visits, meetings on partnerships, economic cooperation, and building energy independence. Today, Andrzej Duda's second term in office is coming to an end. Duda and his wife have already said goodbye to the presidential palace and their closest associates.
Dziękuję Państwu
za tą służbę dla Rzeczypospolitej.
Thank you very much for your trust in my service to the Republic of Poland. I am well aware that it was not easy. It was not easy for me, and I know very well that it was not easy for you either.
Dziękuję za pomoc.
Thank you for your help in my activities. I did not have the opportunity to work with all of you personally, but I did work with many of you. So thank you very much for your substantive support, for all the projects we have completed together, but also for your kind words and smiles, which are very, very important to me. The most important thing for President Andrzej Duda is the fact that, after 10 years of his presidency, Poles live undeniably better lives, to which he was able to contribute through his time in office.
Ja kiedyś powiedziałem na samym początku mojej pierwszej kadencji, że moim marzeniem jest to, że kiedy będę kończył swoją prezydencką służbę, żeby Polacy mówili, że żyje im się lepiej niż wtedy, kiedy Andrzej Duda zaczynał. Dzisiaj się tak dzieje.
Today, Andrzej Duda leaves with a sense of having fulfilled his duty toward the Polish public, who twice entrusted him with the mission of serving as President of the Republic of Poland.